A very warm welcome to one and all. Success Tales welcomes you all to yet another exciting episode of Real People, Real Stories. Today's episode is very special. Special because today we have a very dynamic and amazing guest with us who is a very seasoned entrepreneur. We are here to know more about his inspiring entrepreneur journey and his advice for the new startups and neo ventures. A serial entrepreneur, angel investor, public speaker, business matchmaking expert, government advisor, artist, author, community builder, game programmer, virtual reality specialist, AI evangelist, blockchain specialist for fintech, Trotter, and the very famous and one of the most sought after startup mentor. It's none other than Mr. Arijit Bhattacharyya. Sir, welcome to our platform Success Tales. We are extremely honored by you for accepting our request. The way you believed in our humble initiative has been so encouraging and motivating for our team. So, Arijit, sir, Virtualinfocom is known for many innovations in IT solutions, game development, and animation. What are your views on the current scenario of gaming industry in India?
Well, it's evolving. Gaming industry in India is actually still evolving. We are doing a couple of excellent work. We are probably making a lot of games for others. So India have got a lot of indie studios, a lot of proper companies who are doing massive work for the world. In terms of gamers, I think we need to evolve a little bit of much more higher level of integrity level regarding game playing mode. Of course, we have a lot of great casual game players. In terms of maybe Indian made gaming, maybe we need to evolve a little bit more. But yeah, it's evolving. Yes.
Right, sir. So, you are the creator of 54 plus superheroes and 21 comic characters. Many parents in India are a bit skeptical of their kids opting to go into game design and development. So, what is the basic qualification to be a game programmer or game designer or a game tester, sir?
Okay. So if you ask me the specific question like what is the skill set that is required, I think you don't specifically need any kind of certification to become a game programmer if you really want to start your career. Either you are a logical person, you know a little bit of programming languages like object-oriented language. It can be C++, it can be probably C as a basic language learning methods, or probably if you know C Sharp, that's one of the best. Or if you know Python, those are the usual language that we usually use for making very simple kind of game. Game cannot be done in the way we used to do in earlier times using Java. No, you need to have a engine. Through the engine, you can only do the coding. So languages like C++, Python, or Lua is really, really helpful. In terms of game art, it actually depends on your artistic capabilities. So if you are talking about what are the kind of skills that you need drawing skill set, understanding the color balance, that's an added advantage. And of course, regarding software, you need to understand and learn few bit of 2D software. There are a lot of free software available in the market in 2D and 3D both. I would highly recommend Blender as a 3D software. It's easy to learn, easy to adopt, and easy to download. Kids can easily download it and utilize it. Regarding game testing, well, it actually depends on the person. It's not a kid's job, honestly speaking. Proper game testing can be done with a specific qualifications and skill set, which is mainly into either software testing understanding or understanding a little bit of higher level regarding logical explanation as well as the market study. So those are the basic things that people can probably adopt before joining any kind of gaming course. So talking about the same, we have a gaming course which we are running for last 23 years worldwide. We have students from Japan, Taiwan, Korea, Europe, of course from Australia. We have branches. So if you really want to join, maybe you can check www.virtualinfocom.com. There is a training page. You can apply and maybe you can join our courses.
Thank you, sir. VIC has produced more than 470 plus games and VR, AR, XR apps and blockchain solutions. And as an institute, you have produced more than 5,000 skilled programmers and designers that work with some of the most renowned technology organizations in the world. What does the future of gaming industry in India look like?
Honestly, it's not about future of gaming industry in India. It's a future of gaming, to be very honest. Gaming cannot be defined on a specific country until unless we have a very complete closed door ecosystem like China. The Chinese ecosystem or Korean ecosystem on gaming is much more mature than us. Even if you look at Israel, that is also more mature than us. Uh, but talking about the whole entire ecosystem of gaming, it will stay, it is there, and it is much more larger than movies. If you look at the gaming market, it is much more higher, larger money wise, as well as probably, I would say, career wise, much more lucrative, much more attractive, and much more higher. Nowadays, gaming is not actually staying inside only entertainment purpose, like only for playing games. Rather, gaming technology is being used into multiple different kind of industry verticals. Example, automotive. Example, your real estate, as well as is into the healthcare system. If you look at all those VR application which is being done in the real estate sector, you will find out that these applications are being used on the gamification technologies or game engines. Example, Unreal is one of the best engine wherein you can create massive amazing solutions for all these kind of real estate or automotive industry. Unity is also coming up with all those kind of solution. There are multiple examples. So future is really bright.
Right, sir. So, as an angel investor, like, what do you look for in a gaming startup?
Uh, Frankly, angel investment in gaming is a different topic. I think it will take a full different scenario to discuss how angel investment happens in gaming.
Mhm.
Can we move into the very basic kind of structure wherein how we as an angel look into any
Yes,
venture
of course.
to invest in? Because if you look at the Indian scenario, maximum number of gaming studios are indie studio. Their legal process is completely premature. So it's difficult to invest as an angel investor. But if you look at any kind of company, or rather maybe a startup, wherein they are looking for investment, I usually personally take a look at a few different kind of stuff. For an example, number one, I check about their recent traction. It's not about their idea, rather how they have executed it, how much they have done with their own money. I want to understand if they're in the same skinning game like me. So if I'm putting my money or network or maybe power, I need to understand how much they're investing as well, right? Second thing that I usually look at is their team strength, how good at they by making probably a marketing team, maybe creating operations, maybe creating a legal structure. Team, I mean to say, not the number of employees. Team, I mean to say the number of directors and probably the co-founders. So it's recommendable to have different variety of co-founders inside one organization. And the organization must be a private limited company. Otherwise, it's really difficult legally to invest into such kind of activities in India, at least. If I talk about my US investments, that structure is different. They usually take 3 days to convert any company from proprietorship to probably a limited liability company. There we can take an entry, not a problem. We can um, insert our knowledge, we can insert our money, we can insert our marketing skill set. The most important point, I think that's the third point, is it's not about your pitch deck, rather how open you are to share your company and your vision with a potential investor. So it should be a win-win situation for both. If any deal is happening like investor is taking maybe 50% of your company, it's not going to make any sense for you. So the next investor cannot actually take an entry. And of course, the fourth important point when I look at investment, probably an opportunity. If you have a intellectual property which is owned by you, not by some third party university or anyone else, completely owned by you, and you have created it, and that's a revolutionary example or probably the business, and that can be done. Of course, we are in. For example, I did one deal in Finland. They make glasses which can wipe out AC from any kind of scenario, and it will actually clean air inside the room. So you don't need any kind of AC. You just put that glass into the window, you put that into a power, and then it will act as your air conditioner inside the room, as well as it will emit all your carbon from room and then put it into a box. So if you have those kind of revolutionary products, of course, we are in.
Right. So, um, sir, you are a serial entrepreneur. So, what have been your major challenges in your journey as an entrepreneur?
A lot of challenges. First of all, at least when I started, there was no ecosystem. So people like us, we feel that, okay, there is no ecosystem, so we should build it. I'm that kind of person. So the first challenge was to build an entire ecosystem of probably um, the people who can appreciate our creation, who can probably join us as our students. Just imagine a situation that when I was 17 years old, I'm asking people, okay, join my training courses. And those guys are probably 24, 25, working in some company. And that's a different kind of situation. That's the initial hiccup that probably I crossed.
Mhm.
And then very basic things like internet was not there, and then there was no investor. The concept was
Mhm.
angel investment was not there in 1998. It was just on the air. Like a lot of people are talking about that, and people felt that, okay, if I get a VC in my company, like I own the world or something like that. So slowly, when I was crossing the all those challenges, I think in today's world, in 2021, the first and foremost challenge that people will face is proper networking. So until unless they have the real people who have strength and power and connections, it's going to be very difficult to grow your company properly. It doesn't matter whether you're funded or not. It actually doesn't matter. If you have a business, a solid business, and a passion, and you feel that somebody can probably guide you, mentor you, be ready in a situation that you should be able to share your probably either equity or your money with that person who can take you to the next stage. Now, how will you trust someone like this? Frankly, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And I'm sorry about this statement. I mean, don't chop this off from the video. Please don't trust the people who are motivational speakers in YouTube. They are not your mentor. They are not your guide. They are for motivation. They are doing their massive work, good work. Kudos to them. Good respect to them. But if you are talking about real execution doesn't happen with speech.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm a public speaker for last, I think, I don't know how many years. I have traveled, how many countries I really forgot as a keynote speaker. I've been to multiple global platforms like TED or, you name any. Okay. And I have created our own business chamber where we have a solid mega summit. We call it as a World Leader Summit. And in the chamber, we have ministers as our ambassador. We have change makers, policy makers. We have CEO of banks who are there inside the network as our ambassador, chairperson. We have media personalities. We have people like Sanjeev Ji, who is a founder of Noida Film City. Because your audience is India, I'll just take example of Indian things. Like we have speakers who are change makers, like Swati Mandela is one of them. She's actually granddaughter of Nelson Mandela. I can go on with examples. The reason I'm picking up this point, when you really want to try and understand who can help you, please understand their journey first, what they have done.
Yes.
Dig with the person. Okay. In today's world, it's easy to understand someone from internet. Don't rely on only one social media channel. Go for recommendations. Check their other social media sites. Understand their activities. You will understand what is going on. If you are wise enough, probably you can choose some one or two or three group of people who can guide your business to the next level. Another tip, don't rely on only one person. Rely on maybe one plus two
Hmm.
kind of person. So that's a formula. One plus two is a formula to trust building. Anyway,
Right, sir. Sir, you often use the acronym MAD in your talks. What is it about?
well, I mean, people actually gave me that name, and to be very honest, I'm coming down from a very humble Bengali medium school background, and I used to be an introvert person. So when I was talking about technology, talking about new languages, at least when I was talking about Python, I think the year was either 2000 or 2001. I really don't remember. And I was telling our students that this is the next generation language that's coming up, and it was Yahoo days. Google was not there here in India, and that it was not that popular. Those guys used to call me mad. So I created my own dictionary. In my own dictionary, mad is moderate, accurate, and determined. So probably I would love those kind of people who are mad and have these three different qualities.
Well, so see, you have mentioned in many of your talks that you are a community builder too. What is the importance of being a community builder for any person, for any businessman, especially?
Okay, so business and community building probably don't go hand in hand, to be very honest.
Hmm.
But if you are building community, that's a different passion, and it gives you a drive to bring lot many other people into your ecosystem, either your own or maybe somebody else's, to do some good business together, share and hold. It's a kind of fun as well as important exercise to get knowledge and share knowledge. I'll give you a live example what happened when I was building community. Um, I was actually traveling. I used to travel and I do travel a lot, frankly speaking. I mean, during COVID also, I've been traveling out of India. So when I was traveling in some Asian country, it was just to we are a partner in one of the events. It's called Texas in Thailand. So it was first time for me to be there in Thailand, and then we shared a lot of knowledge session. Because we are partner, of course, we network like anything, and that's my mantra. I network like crazy. Okay, and there we met a group of people. They said that there is an island called Phuket. If I can be there and probably talk a little bit about new technologies and maybe about the Indian epics and Sanskrit. Okay, forgot to mention I can read, write, and speak Sanskrit very fluently, and that's one of my probably core strength. That's the reason I started taking epical stories, converting into the gaming applications. So anyway, when I was there in that island, it's a beautiful island called Phuket, and we started talking with each other with a couple of more people from UK, Ukraine, Russia, a lot of people, and we started discussing about what is God, how universe has been created. They had their own kind of understanding, right? And then when they were talking with each other in Russian, I just greeted them with Russian and then started talking with few bit of Russian language. They were shocked. They said, "How come you understand Russian and how come you are communicating?" I said, "Listen, this is all about community approach because I understand Sanskrit. Your language actually came from all these kind of mother language, so it's easy for us to understand if you understand Sanskrit properly. Understand any other language like German or maybe your Russian as well." Then we started talking that if we can do something together, if we can execute something together. And all 15 people of that group, we understand that there is a big need where people need help regarding where they are mentally challenged, number one. Number two, a lot of people are actually addicted to drugs. So can we create a situation where maybe we can create an academy in that island itself, which will cater the drug addicted people or probably people who are looking for meditation or yoga. Hence, we started an organization called Yoga Training for You in Phuket itself. It all started out of nothing. Somebody told me, "Let's explore Phuket. Let's talk in Sanskrit," and you share your, vision with us. So, if you come back to the whole storyline, it basically acts as a small community of 15 people, right? And then when we started, it grew from 15 people to approximate 200 plus people. So before pandemic, we used to have a lot of people who are coming from various part of the world into that island, learning fighting, yoga. People, came to us to treat themselves, heal themselves mentally, physically. And I'm blessed that I have all these 15 people who are teachers and, caregiver into that particular island. Along with that, we expanded the whole thing into Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is another part in Thailand. So this is one of the example probably you can take away. If you create and build a community, small, big, doesn't matter. It affects a lot. It adds a lot.
So, you are an AI evangelist as well as a blockchain specialist. And in fact, you are ranked 14th among world's top 50 blockchain thought leaders in the world. I would like to know what has been the impact of blockchain, AI, and ML on gaming industry.
It's still like a very far declaration, but to be very honest, probably within 2030, you will see maximum number of games well connected with blockchain technology. One of the reasons is the digital objects um, we are using inside the game. Through blockchain, we want to safeguard all those objects. We want to probably create a great ecosystem inside that particular platform and then grow inside the market. That's one example. Second, if we are talking about gaming with AI, it always goes hand in hand. There is no question that AI is not there in game. Probably AI started with gaming because when you are playing with computer, you're playing with an AI, right? So opportunity and future is much more larger than we are thinking. I was actually giving lecture probably in one of the summit. I think it was in Dubai, 2018, when I was sharing about augmented reality's future and what's coming up on the AR glass. It's till date, it was, I mean, in 2018, it was never thought of. People never thought that that's gonna come. But now it's possible. I was talking about AR glasses, which can detect your health, your blood pressure, whether you're hungry or not. It can understand whether, what is your daily routine, and it can give order. It can act as your, probably as your mother, as your father, maybe as your good friend. Okay. You don't need to be remembered by someone that you have something to be done. It can give you all those notifications, including it can give order for your food. Now, why I'm sharing with this question? Because AR and gaming, both of the things are actually correlated with each other. And everything is happening nowadays with such kind of gamification model. People nowadays don't need to have all those old software solution. They are looking for a solution which is interactive, much more happily interactive. Example, stock market. There are startups who are actually building solution with a gamified mode so that people can learn and understand the stock market solution and they can play, bid, and do their own bit. So these things are coming up very fast. And probably within 2030, you will see a massive revolution that's happening. Probably people will not release as a consumer. They will probably not realize that it's done by the gamified guys or probably the game programmers or maybe the AI programmers. In today's world, everything has been mixed up like anything. Until unless they are into a very deep tech knowledge, they will probably not understand it. For an example, if I can do coding in AI, a normal language like Python, I can do the same utilizing my knowledge in a game engine. If I can do that in an engine, I can do that in an application. Only thing is the syntax. Logic remains same. Does that answer your question?
Of course, it does. Arijit, you have been awarded top rated global business leader, celebrated speaker, top influencer, blockchain specialist, and VR specialist, and a thought leader. You've already said that networking is the key, So, what else is your success mantra in life besides networking?
If it is for business, of course, honesty. If you are not honest enough, you cannot grow. If you don't want to trust me, I don't care, but that's the only key. Second thing is, don't share everything what you're doing in social media. You don't need to do that. That's the most important success mantra probably from from my side. I never ever share 100% what I do to the open world. I'll tell you the reason. When you are growing, there will be competitors. There will be people who will probably hate you or love you. And when you grow big, you will have a lot of haters. Okay. If you are sharing something like you got an email from XYZ company, that's the order that you are probably getting, it's a happy news, no doubt in it. Okay. Why you need to share that to the world before you have executed that order? It may happen that somebody will implant an employee inside your company, you will never realize, and he will probably ruin your entire process. What will happen then? So the third mantra, which is like probably a little bit of secret tips, don't share uh, your wealth to the people. Your wealth doesn't mean that how much money you have. Wealth means the actual core network, core group of people which you know. Number one. Number two, your core knowledge which you have. Share it to the people who can be your great team player, right? Or probably who is trustworthy, right? Otherwise, there are people who will try to come to your network if you are becoming big. They will try to leverage it. And then one fine day you will find that, oh my God, what's going on in my life? My five employees are being, snatched from my organization and I can't protect it. The only reason is your HR strength is not that strong. So when you feel you are strong enough, you're Batman, welcome, share it. Welcome, share, and tell the world that who you are. Till then, work quietly. You don't need to shout. So probably if you are asking me the third line of success, work quietly. World will eventually know who you are, what you're doing. You don't need to shout for yourself.
So that was such a good piece of wisdom, like coming from you, it means a lot because I think this is the trend these days that everybody shares even a little bit of achievement, they share it on the social media. And what an important line you said, that work quietly, the world will eventually know. Thank you, sir. Any tips for the new startups or the startup enthusiasts, particularly
So there are two different terms. Is it enthusiasm or is it a real startup? What do you mean?
a real startup?
Is
Come on.
real startup?
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, Listen, startup is not about like a lot of glory. Maybe someone will tell you that if you are starting your venture, if you are an entrepreneur, your Wednesday can be your Sunday, your Thursday can be your Sunday. It's opposite. Your Sunday is your working day. Okay. For a real entrepreneur, I again mentioning this line, real entrepreneur. I'm sorry about this statement because there are a lot of Facebookpreneurs are there in the world. So the real entrepreneur don't have a resting day, believe me or not. Okay. They are always restless. If you have started your own venture, you got a success, probably a little bit of success of maybe in terms of money, maybe in terms of happiness. That restless mind usually calls for another thing to do. That's entrepreneurship, right? So if you're a startup, don't feel your Monday will be your Sunday. Rather, it will be opposite. Kindly don't start your business because you don't want any boss in your life. Your clients will be your multiple bosses. Okay.
Hmm.
If you are working in a company, you will probably have your team leader or maybe four or five boss, superiors, higher authorities. You have to probably report on time,
Yes.
and you feel that that's a 9 to 5 job or 9 to 6 job. It's really hectic. You should leave it and you should start your business. Come on, you'll be also recruiting people. So you need to
Right.
understand the mindset of
Yes.
yours. You need to understand when you start your business, there will be situation that probably 3 o'clock in the night when you're sleeping, some of your client is giving you a call from US. You need to attend that. There is no other option. Okay. So you need to have that kind of mindset, a open mindset that it's not I am my own boss, rather try to become a great leader. Okay.
Right.
I'll take one more minute from you. A great leader doesn't mean how many followers you have. A great leader means how many leaders you are creating.
Right.
Maybe it's a wrong um, concept, that, okay, if I'm creating more leaders for my company, multiple people will show their face. No, it may happen you are your company's face.
Mm,
Perfectly fine. Okay.
mm,
But in your team, other members must have a flexibility
right.
to take decision. Number one, to be like you. Number two, number three, they should be able to access your internal information. Kindly understand you're creating leaders, you're not creating employees,
Right.
you're creating team members. If you can't trust them, there is something wrong in you. It's not about others' fault. Never ever try to find fault in others. Try to find fault in yourself. Okay? That's the one of the best guru mantra that I can give you to start your own journey. Don't start your journey, the last point, because there is some investor, they will invest money into your business idea. It's not going to float.
Mm,
Okay. Kindly don't start a valuation game initially. Start, build a business, do something, make some money. Money making is good. And if you have a social entrepreneur, there are a lot of terms which is bubbling nowadays in
mm,
today's world. So if you are a social entrepreneur, you want to do something good for your community, something good for the ecosystem, or maybe for the society, maybe for your country.
mm,
Excellent, great. You can't run until unless you are making money. So learn and understand how to make money and how to manage that money. Learn and understand banking. So three things is required to run business. One, understanding finance. Two, understanding number game. Three, how to be humble and how to do network and how to address people. Can I give you one example, Sugandha ma'am?
sure, sir.
People often call others, like for an example,
Yes.
somebody who is aged about 20, uh, addressing someone who is aged about 50 with his first name. It's a great culture. I respect that. Okay.
Right, sir.
But a humble request, some people don't take it very easy, right?
Right, sir.
Maybe a 50-year-old person will not accept somebody's calling him, hey, XYZ, how are you? Can we have a chat? He's not your friend yet. Okay.
Yes.
Give him some chance, address him with a greetings, maybe Mr. or Sir or Ma'am or whatever greetings you want to give. Give them
Sir.
respect, they will give you respect back. And that's happening. I can see that this is the trend that's happening, calling with name. And I have seen one of my mentee, he just lost a deal because he addressed him with his first name, and he get back to me, said that, what wrong I did? I said, what happened? He said, I just greeted him, and then he said, okay, we'll talk maybe later on.
Right.
I said, show me the chat. And I saw it. I touched the person, asked him that, what happened? Is there something wrong? He said, Arijit, you know what? Me and you, we can talk with the name because we're from the same age group.
Right, sir.
It's like probably you are 12 years younger than me and I know you. You can call me in my name. That's
Right,
a
sir.
21 years fellow and he's calling me with his name. I said, oh my God. Okay. So probably that's funny, but take it in a serious note.
Right, sir.
And once you greet someone with maybe a good notion, maybe doctor or maybe Mr. or Mrs., if he or she is comfortable, he will eventually tell you, call me with my first name.
Yes, sir.
That will be good. Yeah. That's one mantra for networking.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. You know what? During our discussion, I felt like the way you have also mentored us, like, while taking your interview, I think we have ourselves taken a lot from this. We had a lot of takeaway from this interview itself, sir. And thank you so much, Arijit, sir. It was a pleasure having you with us today. And we are extremely honored. Thank you for supporting our humble initiative, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Pleasure is mine. If there is anything I can do with you guys, feel
Yes,
free
sir.
to touch base and we'll do something good together.
Definitely,
Thank
sir.
you.
One more thing I needed to mention, sir. I just read a post of yours in LinkedIn wherein you said that however small a venture is, however small an initiative is, you should always support that. You may not like their product, but support them. support the people. And your gesture today, what you did for us, sir, it actually reflects the same, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you for joining us.